Okay, everyone, wrapping up day one of PPG presents Armed Forces qualifying ahead of the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500 coming up a week from tomorrow. Marcus Armstrong already joins us, driving the number 66 Sirius XM Route Insurance Honda for Meyershank Racing with Curb Agajanian. Marcus, to say the least, you had an adventurous day. Just your thoughts about where you are right now in the field of 33.
Yeah, it's obviously hugely disappointing what happened this morning. We had a very fast car, and I think Felix he demonstrated that. I think he's got the quickest one lap of the day, but he was, I don't know, P7 or something now. And I think that him and I were pretty much the same. So it was very disappointing when, yeah, I don't know why, honestly, I lost the car so suddenly. Um, you could argue a bunch of things, but ultimately we put a setup on the car that we thought was going to be reasonably conservative for the conditions. But ultimately that wasn't the case. And then massive credit to them to Meyershank Racing for putting our road course car together so quickly. And I think we circulated it at 2:29.
Yep.
We didn't even have telemetry on the first run, so we don't know whether COP or ride heights are or anything. So that second run was a bit like, yeah, we'll see. But massive credit to them for putting the car together.
Open it up for questions. Kenzie on this side, Madeline on that side. David, we'll start there, and then David. Yep, after that. Thank you. Go ahead, David.
Thank you. Marcus, the first thing, obviously, a big question, particularly from people in New Zealand. Are you okay?
I am okay.
Physically?
Yes, physically I am okay. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm a bit sore in the morning. It to me it felt like a bigger hit than what it looked on the TV, honestly. Um, but the AMR safety crew was on top of me in record time, so I think that truck they have was going quicker than Alex Palou today. So I'm pretty lucky that they were there. But yeah, I'm good as gold, mate. I'm ready to crack on tomorrow.
Good stuff. You mentioned it as well, and I was standing outside your garage for quite a bit of the day, just watching what was going on, watching the team from HRC there as well, working on the car. Everyone there, Kiwi Steve Goff was in amongst it as well. That was an enormous effort to make that transition to the road course car, which effectively would have been your Detroit car or is your Detroit car. Unbelievable control out of those guys as well, wasn't it, from them?
Yes, I don't think anybody expects a crash like that to, destroy a tub. Obviously, it happens from time to time. I don't know what Colton had to do there, but we didn't have the car built up at all, so they pretty much put it together. I mean, as they were rolling me out, they were still putting together like the headrest, and I was questioning whether or not the seat was like still intact after the crash. We hadn't tested that, so like just the real basic things we'd like forgotten about because we were just so in a rush to get it done. But I mean, they got it done, and the car was definitely in a decent window where we can work on for tomorrow.
And just one final thing, just while that's happening, obviously you're removed from the garage. You've got lots of other things going on for you personally at that point in time. What's the biggest thing that goes through your mind? Like, is it about getting back out there straight away?
Well, initially I just hoped that the car wasn't completely written off, which was the case. And then secondly, it was whether or not they'd let me drive again because I had to do a bunch of tests, concussion tests and all of that. So there was two things that we got around ultimately. And the third one was just the conditions, hoping that the wind wouldn't get any worse or, perhaps the track temp would come down and give me a bit of a hand. But yeah, tough conditions today for sure.
Well, we wish you all the very best for tomorrow. You're going to get in the show, that's for sure.
Okay, we have limited time with each driver. Bringing up six is a lot, but we're trying to get through everyone as best we can. David Land, go ahead, sir.
Marcus, just you mentioned the first run, you didn't even have telemetry. Just kind of talk through that run and especially going into turn one the first time since the accident.
Yeah, Well, just like this morning, my references were based off of yesterday with a different wind. And this morning when I went out, typically you have a different balance to what you have when you put the Q mix and you have a whole lot more horsepower. So this morning's balance caught me by surprise massively. So I was kind of a little bit lost on that warm-up lap when I just drove now. And I'm also cognizant of how difficult it is to get these cars into the right window. You know, even a bit of tape on the upright can affect the aero balance significantly. So with all these things not being as the other car, we don't really know where we are in terms of a balance window. And you don't really find out about it until you're midway through the corner. So, you know, my plan was just to take it easy on the first lap, just to see where the balance was. Adjust from there with my tools. My weight jacker actually wasn't working, so I only had my bars. And then hopefully for the second run, we would have been able to modify the ride heights and all of that, but we didn't have any data, so we just sent it with the same car.
So you made that improvement from 26 to 29 just based on feel. I mean, to kind of describe the difference between the first run and the second run, and then kind of your confidence level going into tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my mindset was if the car is good enough to do it, then I'm not going to be the reason that we're not going to get through today. So, you know, I threw caution to the wind, if that's the right expression, and just went flat. Hopefully the balance was there. It was, and but ultimately wasn't quick enough. So we'll come back tomorrow.
That is the right expression, by the way. One more question, Wolfgang, go ahead.
Marcus, before the accident, did the car give you any warning signal or driving behavior? And the accident itself, do you think the wind was maybe responsible for that?
I think, you know, obviously the wind was strong. You know, this morning it was a lot colder, and history normally says from years past that you can afford to take a decent step down on downforce. However, this morning wasn't really the case. So I do believe that with these hybrids now, it's the window is considerably smaller, the balance window. You know, I think where we were mentally was we have a strong car. We can be inside the top 12, if not the top 5, and we want to finish that small little morning warm up where we want to start quali, and ultimately that was probably a bit ambitious as well.
All right, we know how much you love the Indianapolis 500. Get a good night's sleep. We'll see you back on the track tomorrow. Thanks, Marcus. Thank you. Okay, continuing on, post-qualifying news conference here on a Saturday, joined now by drivers that have qualified in one way or another for the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. Alex Palou, a provisional pole right now at 233.043 miles an hour in the number 10 DHL Chip Ganassi Racing Honda, eyeing his second pole in his runs here at Indy. Also joining us, moving on to the top 12 qualifying run tomorrow, Robert Schwartzman, currently sixth, provisional sixth, driving the number 83 Prema Racing Chevrolet. His previous best start this season, the NTT INDYCAR Series, was 18th at St. Pete, so well on his way to eclipsing that. And then starting 13th in next Sunday's race, Connor Daly, driving the number 76 Ukos Hollinger Racing Chevrolet, and also joining us, Colton Herta, who is going to start 29th And next Sunday's Indy 500, driver the number 26 Cambridge Honda for Andretti Global with Curb Agajanian. Alex, let's start with you right now. P1 for you. Looking ahead to tomorrow, top 12. How satisfied are you with what happened today?
Yeah, amazing day for us. Struggled a little bit in practice. We were not able to finish a full qualifying run, and we're a bit, I mean, like everybody, it was tough conditions today. So yeah, glad that we got our balance right. We had a ton of speed in the car, and it's been great to the comeback we did from last year, I think. Yeah, from both sides, I think HRC and the team. So yeah, really fast cars, and looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow should be a good show. Robert Schwartzman, you're going to be a part of the show, top 12 tomorrow. How pleased are you with obviously the effort? And I'm sure the team is ecstatic about today's results.
Yeah, honestly, really, really good day. I honestly did not expect it to go that well. You know, we were gradually improving the car step by step. But you know, to have such a good run this morning, I was like, okay, this car is really fast. Obviously, it was really tricky, as I said already before. It's the toughest, I think, qualifying of my career, because like 4 laps consecutive focus, like one slight mistake and you're done. So yeah, definitely it was big challenge for me, but I'm happy that I managed to complete all 4 laps. We're going to top 12. I think it's also a good thing it's the first one of the team. So, you know, we finally got the top 12, and it's here in Indy, so it's quite a legendary moment for us. So yeah, honestly, really happy. The team did a really good job, you know, with engineering and mechanics. You know, everything was step by step without rushing things, you know, making sure everything is right. And I think that's where it paid off.
Congratulations. For you, Connor, a bit of heartbreak, certainly. What happened in that last qualifying run for you guys?
Oh yeah, I mean honestly, the team we had a wild day. I mean, honestly, our first run, the whole front wing like being like wrong was crazy, because we obviously have to go to tech before we run too. So it was kind of a shame there, but yeah, we had to come back, and in the middle of the day just didn't quite have exactly what we needed, and so we trimmed out for the last run just to try to stay you know, above where we needed to be. Yeah, I mean, I did not get the weight jacker back to the right position for turn 1 on the last lap. So like, it was definitely my fault, and the team deserved to be in the 12. But yeah, you just got to be perfect here. And, I was trying a few different things to just be as consistent as possible, and, just happened to not get the weight jacker back in time. So yeah, that cost us the 12, but a good bounce back for sure for our group. Definitely.
Colton Herta, for you, obviously a interesting day to say the least. First of all, how are you feeling? You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
And your thoughts about getting in the show, first of all, I guess.
Yeah, it's it sucks. You know, I think from our standpoint of where we want to be, and what we want to contend with, we're not happy just making the show. We want to fight for the pole, and we want to be in the fast 12. So when we don't get to the chance to do that, it's pretty disappointing. But what a heroic effort by the guys. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that on any car. Bare chassis, bare tub in 4.5 hours to a complete car. The only thing that we transferred over was the engine. Everything else was destroyed. So to have a car that not only runs but is safe, and the balance is nice in that amount of time it's I don't even know what to say. It was their day, you know. I think I tried me and Nathan tried our hardest to take us out of the show, and they kept us in it. So.
And finally, also joined by Marco Andretti in the number 98 Honda for Andretti Global with Marco and Curb Agajanian. I know, Marco, for you, it's not the result you wanted. We'll see you tomorrow in LCQ. How do you make the car quicker between now and then, I think?
I think we were about to there. Connor just took up too much time.
Sorry, brother.
No, I think we would have been just in there, but the trim level that we're at the end is kind of demoralizing for the speed. So, you know, I don't know what else to do. I think tomorrow is ours to lose, so we just need to not be dumb tomorrow and just do 4 solid ones, and we should be okay. But yeah, just the fact that we're running tomorrow is a bummer.
Yeah, for sure. All right, open it up for questions to get to Kinsey here, Madeline here. We'll start with Chris and then Bob Pockras after that.
Robert, when you found out your speed after your run, what was the initial reaction, and were you surprised that it was that fast?
Yeah, honestly, this morning I came to my engineer and I was like, what do you think? How fast are we gonna go with like cooler temps and stuff? And he was like, well, I guess 2 mile an hour. And I was like, damn, that's optimistic. And because yesterday we've shown 231, so I was like, okay, well. And then the first lap I do, I was like, okay, I'll floor it. Whatever happens, happens. And I see 233, and I was like, ooh, he was actually right. And I was like, the car actually is fast. And I was like, okay. Yeah, I managed to hold it for 2 laps. Then obviously we were a bit too aggressive with the balance. Like I started to lose a bit the rear, so it was a bit sketchy in the 3rd and 4th lap. So I was like, okay, I need to just survive. I just need to finish it. Yeah, and at the end, I think overall it just gave me the boost and understanding that the car is actually really fast. Like honestly, like going into the corner, the car is just holding on. And I was feeling it a bit yesterday, like from the free practice. I was like, okay, the car seems to be like good, like we can actually push it. And yeah, today it just showed that the car is really there. Obviously, we still need to do some work to catch the top guys, but I want to believe that we can battle for top 6 more.
How much confidence is the run today give you ahead of tomorrow? That's just a few more adjustments you have to make, and maybe you might be in the top 6 shootout.
Well, for me, honestly, it's just we need to fix a little bit the balance, just so I can hold on more safely for the 3rd and 4th lap going flat. And I believe that's going to be a good step forward.
And then compared to all the other places you've qualified in Formula 2 and over in Europe and around the world, how does this compare to those places you've raced all around?
It's not comparable, honestly. Like with Alex, he also comes from Europe, and it's pretty clear that this is a very special qualifying. Like you've never feel the same emotion. Like I was actually never worried about qualifying my entire life. Even when I drove F1 car, like practices, I was calm. Only sometimes you could have this worry in races whenever you're starting from pole or somewhere, just the normal worry. But here yesterday night, I was like, okay, well, we have a decent car. It's my first quali, 4 laps. I have to stick to it. And honestly, yeah, when you go out, it's just like full focus. Like not even a slight second you have just to relax. Where normally in European tracks or quali, you have a moment of just breathe. Here it was just like one single breath, just go, and that's it.
Bob?
Bob Pockras, Fox Sports for Colton. With cars in line all day and never getting a chance to even shake it down, when did you know that you had a car that you felt like you could put in the race?
Sorry, what was the question?
Well, I think everybody thought at some point maybe there'd be a time that there wouldn't be anybody in line, and hopefully you could just go out and feel for the car before, but you didn't get that chance. So when during your 4 laps did you feel like, okay, this car is good enough to get me in?
I mean, it's really just a guess, to be honest, when you're put in that position. You have to be flat, and it's just kind of a hope that everybody did their job. And I got a lot of trust in my guys. I got a lot of trust in Nathan O'Rourke, my engineer, to set the car up properly and do the right thing so I'm safe in the cockpit. And so I think that was a lot of that showing. I think for me, this place doesn't scare me. I don't have a problem hitting the wall here and having big ones like today. It doesn't feel good. It sucks, but it doesn't scare me when I get back in the race car. So when you have that kind of mentality, but also you have the team like we did today, and trust in the guys and in Nathan and everybody putting the car together to do the right thing, put the right stuff in the car in the right way. It's really not too much of a worry.
David?
For Colton, a lot of comparisons have been made to the 2022 situation. My understanding is that chassis in 2022 was a road course car, this one a speedway car. Can you get this thing up to speed over the next 2 practice days to make it kind of get it back in the window of the primary car?
I hope so. I'm less worried about that, just because the window for margin and qualifying is so small because you're just so on top of the track. Any little problem or any little change makes a huge difference. Whereas the race car, you can mess up a little bit more on balance and still make a good day of it. The problem in 22 is we had the floor that it was stalling. So, you know, we were only running like 205 in the race, and eventually IndyCar pulled the plug on us. So I don't think that we'll have that issue again. I think we learned a lot from that situation. That was a terrible few days for us. So yeah, I think there is a lot put in place to be able to understand a little bit more a lot of the underwings and front rear wings that we bring to the race in case we have problems like this, which, you know, we've had every year basically at Andretti.
Wolfgang, go ahead.
Two questions, one for Robert, one for Alex. Robert, you just said earlier that it was the most, well, my interpretation, stressful qualifying compared to all your other race experience in Europe with this new environment over. What was your realistic expectations before you went out? What you really expect by yourself? What could you do in qualifying?
Well, again, as I said, I didn't expect to be that fast. My target was focused, just, you know, gradually improve the car, improve the team, you know, get a few things and also learn at the same time. It was because I'm a rookie, team is a rookie, so we try to just, you know, find some pieces and if it works, just to fix them, learn that that's how it worked. And, you know, coming in qualifying today, the expectation was just, I just want to complete 4 laps. That's the only thing. I was just like, I just need to finish 4 laps. Whatever I'm going to be, I'm going to be. I really wasn't really looking at it. I was just trying to, you know, get the confidence that I can drive this car fast and have it under control. That's it.
And a question for you, Alex. You said earlier we got the balance right. In case we have windy conditions at race weekend, next weekend, the car has to be retrimmed for windy conditions?
Yeah, when it's windy, it's not nice, I think, for anybody. Like, it just makes the car be a little bit sketchy, and the balance shifts like corner to corner, or even throughout the corner, it just changes. Like, you can have a really sharp entry and then suddenly understeers like crazy on exit. So if that happens in the race, I think we're just going to see a lot more movement, a lot more mistakes, like tiny mistakes, I mean, and then allowing for a little bit more passes. So yeah, I think whenever you have like mixed conditions, it just makes the race a little bit more challenging.
Got time for one, maybe 2 more. Bruce, go ahead, sir.
Connor, to come that close to getting into the Fast 12, how do you describe is it excruciating, or at least you have the solace to know that you're safely in the field in pretty good starting position?
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, it's the best I've started in a long time. But I mean, I'm obviously very frustrated, and I'm super honest with everyone when it comes down to me making a mistake. So I have to take responsibility for that one. You know what I mean? So the car, I would say I definitely got creative on that last run and used some gearing strategies that were not suggested to me, but I just took a gamble and they worked. So that's good. But then I cost myself on the last lap too. So, it's part of the game here. I mean, this is so close. It's so crazy. This day was a range of emotions. I wanted to ram my head through a drywall earlier. And then now I'm like, I still want to do the same, but I'm slightly happier while doing so. So it's, just thankful for the team. They gave me a shot today. That's all you can ask for is a proper shot at it. And we know after all week of practice, we have a great race car. So that's what I'm happy about.
By the way, Connor, to your point, this is your best starting position since you started 11th in 2019. So there you go.
I was teammates with Marco back then.
Back then, yes. Bruce, you good?
I mean, I feel like I've seen it all in 20 years here. So I just, I guess the underwhelming part about it is if I executed perfectly at a downforce that crashed earlier, I would have been like 29th. So 30th is, not a big deal unless we screw up tomorrow. Obviously, I don't want to be in that position, but we have bigger problems. Like, we just have speed problems. I really don't know. I mean, I've seen it across the garage with big teams. There's always like that one that just is like, they change every bolt on the car, and that's how fast it's going to go. So I drew that straw this year.
Josh, time for one more. Go ahead, sir.
Marco, how you doing? Joshua Huron with Indy Star. You said you obviously been through a lot in 20 years. And one of those things is having a great rookie year. And Robert here had a stellar performance today as a rookie. What advice would you give Robert as a rookie as he progresses?
Man, that's a good question. I think trust yourself at this place, like, respect the speed and stuff like that. If something doesn't feel right, it's probably not. So, yeah, I mean, that trust yourself at these speeds is always a good one. But yeah, I mean, this place is something else, man. I mean, I've been on pole here and I'm about to get a 33-cent check maybe in a couple of days. So, that's just this place. It's crazy.
Last row party. There you go.
Yep.
There are various storylines obviously playing out today, but it's all a part of the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. Thanks for coming up, guys. We appreciate it. These guys appreciate it as well. Thank you all.
Thank you.
The next NTT INDYCAR Series session tomorrow afternoon, practice for the top 12 and LCQ. It all begins at 1 o'clock Eastern. Thanks, everyone.